Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the lobby. Today, I have somebody on the set with a vast experience in marketing, PR. Oh my goodness. I feel like reading the profile. Welcome, Victoria Nyanzi, Ateenyi. Ateenyi.
Yes, Emma.
Where does Ateenyi come from before even anything else?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Ateenyi is a pet name for Banyoro and Batoro, but naturally I'm a Muganda. Biologically, or I'm a Muganda. That's why I have the Nyanzi name. But while we were doing, you studying in school, so as we were doing our P7 they give you index numbers. So by that time I was using my Chiganda name, but I noticed I was going to come among the last people in index numbers, and I wanted to come among the first 10. I never ever want to come last in life, so I had to change and go for Ateenyi. But Ateenyi is a name that was given to me by a very dear close friend, a family friend to my dad. So I had it, but it wasn't my name, but because I wanted to come first. I'm like, I need to go for letter A. So I told all the teachers, you know what, I'm changing my name from Nyanzi to Ateenyi. And they called my dad. Your daughter is going to change her name. My father is like, well, she told me a very, very valid reason. She doesn't want to come last, so she can change the name.
Did you have a problem with the mom?
Not really. I did not grow up so much with my mother. I grew up so much with my father. So my father has always been like my friend, my confidant, everything. It's me and him, and then my younger sister.
Guys, always people want to come first. Do you know the strategy to become first? Or you want to be the last? My guest today doesn't want to be the last. Neither to be in the middle, but number moja.
Number moja.
So tell us, I understand you have 8 years experience in marketing, PR. I know you're in banking.
Yes.
What happened to change from PR, from banking to PR, communication and sales, marketing?
I would say I started my career, I finished university in 2016. So first into my career, I joined an events agency and we were doing events. So there and then I was the PR officer. This events agency was called Bain Events. And we did an event called the Club Music Video Awards in 2017.
I heard about that.
And actually, the reason how I got that job to be the PR officer was just through social media. I had done some ushering for Club Pilsner, so then I used to just share about Club Pilsner events on my Instagram, on my social media. So when they were hiring for PR officer, someone just said, "There's this girl. She's always sharing Club Pilsner things." I think, and the role is just much more of speaking to journalists, arranging these events, and then much more of social media marketing. So I go for the interview, I do well in the interview, and then I do the job. So I think that was like a 6-month contract. And then after that, the event ended, and of course it was a short-term contract. The event ended, and luckily enough, I was actively, pushing my papers here and there. So yeah, that's how I got the job in Orient Bank, where you say you know me from. So I joined banking, but I had joined banking, of course, with some little bit of history in public relations. I had, loved how do media relate, how do you relate to media, how do you write a press release, how do you distribute it, and all those things. But at that time, nature pushed me to banking. So I was in the bank for, I think, 2.5 years. First time was at the till, banking assistant. I did so well there that in 6 months I was promoted to then customer service. So customer service people
must be perfect, eh?
Yeah.
As number one always.
Customer service people don't often get it. It's not just about smiling to customers and much more. Those people have targets. You're selling bank loans, you're selling bid bonds, you're selling internet banking. Like you have to sell all the bank products to the customers that walk in. So that's how I got a little bit of also background in sales. So I did the banking for 2.5 years, and it's in the bank that I met my next employer. Like I served this client so well. Every time they used to come in, we interact. They're like, "Oh, but you keep speaking about these big bonds. You keep speaking about this. I feel you should be selling. I would want you to be in a space where you actually not just confined onto a seat and you're just giving out ATM cards or what. What do you think about being in the field?" I said, "It's something I can do." And to make it more interesting, he told me, "But you don't have to sell products. You just have to sell a service. Be in the field, speak to these restaurants and onboard them onto Jumia Food." I said, "That's nice." that is something I can do. I love restaurants. I love eating. I love
Ah,
trying
food.
out new
Yeah.
food.
Ah.
So it didn't take me so much time. I left the bank. I moved on to Jumia. So it has been quite an experience. Imagine now then how from Jumia to where you're speaking of marketing, PR, and communication. So in Jumia, I was doing a key account executive. So the accounts are the restaurants that you have to bring onto Jumia Food. And I did it so well. I successfully onboarded a number of good businesses, Nanjing Hotel, Tasty Buddies, a number of good, really brand names onto the platform. Yes, so I did that for quite some time. I've not forgotten, but must have been a year. And in there, I was also interacting now with his restaurants, with his bars, and then noticing that there was a little bit of a gap in terms of their marketing. You interact with someone and the restaurant, maybe the bar manager tells you he's the one that does the social media, he's the one that does the marketing, and you feel that there's a gap that is lacking. People then didn't have a difference between sales and marketing, because then I would approach someone and I say, my name is Victoria, I'm a key account executive of Jumia, and as the conversation goes on, someone asks you, do you love marketing? And you tell them, actually here I am doing sales.
Yes.
So I also noticed that. But it's after that when I successfully got a job with a marketing agency now, after that entire, circle of interacting with people that don't appreciate marketing and sales, and then after that whole thing of noticing that there's actually a gap, even up to now there is still a gap, but people are filling it up so well, of many businesses in the hospitality industry, bars, restaurants, hotels. Yes, most of their clientele comes from website and whatnot, but to keep a very solid online presence. And people just think it's just a matter of dropping one post a day or sharing something. But I think in the future, I've not yet actually gone there to the future where hospitality steps up in whatever it is that they're doing. I see companies in Nairobi that just go on to anything that can, give them very good PR and mileage. There are days that are celebrated like internationally. Let's say, World Wine Day, World Mowers Day.
We normally
World
celebrate it every
Lipstick
Tuesday.
Day.
I think Wednesday.
Yes.
We have a wine night.
So you see, like those kind of things seem like very little, but they give PR, they give marketing meaning if brands tap onto those kind of things. So even when I joined marketing, I saw the spaces just filled with social media marketing, and many things are left out. And I think those are some of the things that I've used me as an individual to be able to position myself well.
For a layman's perspective and understanding, what's the difference between sales and marketing?
Now, sales is approaching someone and wanting them to buy instantly, or maybe in the future. Or maybe actually sales is approaching and wanting to make revenue there and then. Marketing is approaching and wanting to leave a lasting impression. For example, if I come and approach you, hi Emma, my name is Victoria, I'm a sales rep for ABCD and Insurance. We sell comprehensive insurance for your motor vehicle, and you can have it at this time. I want you to give me business today or tomorrow. But then marketing is what is done in the back way. Like if I approach you and you tell me, oh, I have been seeing your advert on TV. That means marketing was doing something for the long run that will make it easier for sales. Actually, marketing always paves way for sales. Like if people are doing marketing, are doing it so well, then sales people just have to. Any customer you approach will either have an answer. Oh, I saw your billboard. Yes, I see. You see, these days people tend to complain about Jumia ads so much. Like every time you're on YouTube, a Jumia ad. Yeah. So you see, that is the marketing. Like they're putting themselves in your face, and then if I'm the sales rep and I approach someone about Jumia, they already say, "I've seen the ad. You guys are selling this. I've seen the ad of Black Friday. I've seen the ad of any kind of offer that you have." So that is the difference between the two.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
So, guys, did you know the difference between those two? This YouTube channel, this show is about learning, telling the reality, not the motivation speakers who tells you I started this and this with a spoon. No, it's a reality. How you handle your customer, it leads you to another business. Which you talked about branding and saying, so what are some mistakes we do when you're branding either an individual or a product? And if, how can we brand this?
Okay, I think let me start from what I am greatly passionate about, which is personal branding. I developed the passion for personal branding. I think initially I was branding, or I was, building my personal brand, but I didn't know. It's not until at the beginning of last year that after actively starting now to, engage it or do something about it, I noticed that, okay, all along I was doing personal branding. So how do I say that I was doing personal branding before? Like, from the way you're dressing, from how you do the things you do, people start to tell you, maybe give you compliments like, but you don't have to be here. I remember when I joined the bank, I used to tell me, you don't have to be in Jinja, you have to be in Kampala. Every customer will say, I'm going to call the MD. They need to move you from Jinja to Kampala.
Jinja wasn't your class.
So I think
you're too good for Jinja.
No, it's not that, but I think it's much more of, I think they were seeing my brand ahead of time. They were seeing that, the way this girl dresses, the way she carries herself, the way she's just taking time to learn the bank products and sell them to us. We feel she's not meant to be in Jinja, she should be in Kampala. But I didn't know that I was doing personal branding at that moment. So for me, I started actively building my personal brand 2 years back. Before that, after the bank and all those things, then I started traveling the world and having a good time. And I noticed that in my circles and on my social media, people that knew me as Victoria, the rich auntie. Victoria is traveling. And other than that, also because I was working in hospitality and I was doing PR and marketing for some hotels, restaurants, and bars, people would only reference to me in that manner. They only pick their phones to call me. Victoria, is Yellow open? Victoria, is there an offer at this place? So I felt that is not the brand I wanted to build. I felt it has to be a different kind of brand. So one thing I had to do was figure out what platform do I need to now, if I want to turn my brand around to the person that I want people to, relate to, what platform do I need to go for? There are so many different platforms. There is Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, LinkedIn, many threads, so many.
There's so many now coming up.
I
think Uganda is also getting one.
A social media platform.
I'm told. After blocking in Facebook, Facebook blocked in Uganda.
Yeah. So, and you asked me what is the biggest mistake that people do when they're building their brands. And that is, for me, I was able to crack that mistake. The mistake is, how do you find the perfect platform to start from? The platforms are many, and all of them, the intention is for social. How do you be on social media and build your brand on social media? So it takes time or a reflection of you going back and asking yourself questions like, but who am I? What do I do? Who do I do it for? What drives me? What am I passionate about? Because once you answer those questions, they guide on where you should go. See, if I sit down and say, who am I? I'm Victoria. What do I want? I am currently passionate about what I want to do, which is personal branding. Who should be my target audience? I feel it should be career professionals. What drives me, when I figure out the things that drive me? So I wrote down that kind of table, and I noticed that the biggest platform I should start with if I want to build a personal brand as a career professional, as a coach as well, should be LinkedIn. And no doubt, even without any other things, LinkedIn is the biggest or the best or one of the best platforms if one wants to build like a personal brand. You're a career professional, you're stepping into the things of, let's say, coaching, could be life coaching, financial literacy. LinkedIn is the best platform. Why I say it's the best platform is it has the highest levels of optimization. High levels of optimization. If you go to your search engine right now and you put in Victoria Nyanzi, my LinkedIn will come first. All the other platforms come later, but LinkedIn will come first. So I tend to see people that make mistakes of, I'll still use myself as an example. I was a Snapchat queen. I was a queen of Snapchat. I loved Snapchat. Waking up and recording myself, what I'm doing and everything. But then I noticed it's not going to give me any return on investment. maybe brands are now getting onto and paying for Snapchat influencers, but even the brands I wanted to work with wouldn't find me on Snapchat. And most importantly, the optimization and searchability that I wanted, I would not achieve it on Snapchat. Like if I would tell someone that, yes, I'm the biggest person on Snapchat, look me up. But now I can say I'm one of the biggest LinkedIn influencers in Uganda. Just Google
I know you've
me.
been nominated somewhere with
So,
the
yes. So like right now I just say, just Google me. But you can't tell someone to Google your Snapchat because I think Snapchat doesn't have searchability and optimization, so they cannot find your account. So if someone wants to establish a personal brand in an angle where there's that target audience you want to tap, professionals, people that also have a niche, they are not they have that niche of content they are looking for, they're not after everything. LinkedIn is the best platform.
Actually, that was coming my next question. Is a niche important in branding?
Yes, it is, because people should have a reason, or they need to have something at the back of their minds all the time. If I think about Victoria, like I told you, even before I had a brand, but I had a brand. But because by that time my niche was party, which restaurant has a discount? Let me call Victoria. But now people have actually understood that her niche is career growth, professional branding, and LinkedIn. So they'll call and ask you questions like, Victoria, I have an interview here. What do you think I should dress? What should I check out for? Victoria, I want to join LinkedIn. How do I get on LinkedIn? So a niche is important, but also, it's not good to limit yourself into a circle of, there's a way you can expand your niche to different things, but still tying down to what you're doing. How do I explain that? Let's say you're a financial literacy coach. See, financial literacy goes into so many things. Insurance falls in financial literacy.
Yes, saving something.
All of those fall in financial literacy. Our lives and the way we spend our day-to-day lives is in financial literacy and finance management. So many things. It's about you understanding that this is the niche, because if you keep serving one food day in, day out, it can become boring. But you can actually add tomatoes, cassava, nakati onto that food. Like I say, I do LinkedIn coaching, but who do I do LinkedIn coaching for? Career professionals. So what are some of those other things that career professionals have or face in there? So why I'm doing LinkedIn coaching for you to develop a personal brand on LinkedIn. So that's why I tap into personal branding. I'll tap into, a little bit of a career advice. I share my stories, I share my experiences. I think you saw one of my posts that blew out a few days ago, where I said I worked late, this new job and everything. So like, I don't have to tie myself to it's LinkedIn every day, no, because the audience has some other challenges. And if I look in the circle, or if I look at my niche, all of these things can actually be tapped by my niche, because I don't want to keep my audience, I don't want to have them bored, that's one. And two, I want them to feel that they're actually with me and I'm with them. So it should not just be one thing of, now if I don't need LinkedIn, she already optimized my profile. Can I call her? No. Like, we should have that communication where someone knows if it's career, if it's professional life, if you have a job interview, if you even just need someone to review your resume, it all falls in what she's doing. She's doing professional and personal branding. So yes, having a niche is good, but expound on that niche. Tap onto all the nitty-gritties and things that can cover up, and you have a package for your audience, because whatever it is that you're doing, especially on social media, you're building your brand for you. But without an audience, the brand doesn't grow. Actually, it's not an audience, it's a community. You start with an audience and expound it into a community.
I don't know who gave you my questions. My question was about the difference between community and an audience.
Yes.
Let's go there.
On social media, the difference between a community and an audience is the people that are following you.
Tick.
Yes.
Retweet.
The likes, the comments, the followers, the shares. That is an audience. You have them. You have a very big audience. Now, a community is the people that are in your DM, the people that are referring you to their friends. Those people have then experienced you. They have built a block around you. They can take a bullet for you, or they can say, I can vouch for Victoria for this. People that will be asking questions. See, we are building these brands, or we are on social media. Some of us, at the end goal, you want to either make some money or get some opportunities, but opportunities will not, sometimes they can't find you through someone who has seen your content and tells their boss, no, if we have this training, let us use Victoria Nyanzi. There's this girl on LinkedIn. She's called Victoria Nyanzi. I've seen her do A, B, C, D, and E. Now, that is the community. So those are the people. See, on social media, posts go viral, and people like and comment and share. But that post that has 1K likes went viral. But the 300 that keep engaging on a daily, that is your community. Those are people that are asking you questions. They are asking you questions. They are referring you to their friends. They are sending you business, or they are sending you opportunities. So for me, I keep even telling my clients of LinkedIn, endeavor to make sure that you're building a community. You need people to surround you. You need that wall around you. That if at all you're nominated in an award, you have people that are just making noise for you. We are voting for Victoria. Vote for Victoria. I feel good when I wake up and scroll through my LinkedIn and I see someone has made a post there saying, you know, I was not using this platform, but I want to thank Victoria. She gave me this coaching. I know that now that is an extra member to my community. So, and the only way you can get that community is not by posting and posting and posting. No, go extra and, you know, offer a helping hand. Have that, for me, I call it, how do I have the impact? Like, offer a helping hand. For me, I do free discovery calls. Like, let people get to experience you other than the post that you're sharing. Someone has a challenge with their job, or, you know, they're trying to navigate a social media platform. These days, I even have to have free calls with people that are starting up businesses, and they're asking marketing related questions. But it's from those calls that then I now build those people that can vouch for me. See, we have the call, and at the end of it all, someone is like, wow, I needed this. Victoria, thank you so much. So the next time, you know, they'll wake up and make that beautiful post thanking you, and you're like, yes, new member in my community.
I call it a family now.
Yes, you see, you're like, no, I have a new family member. I have a new family member. So you keep growing them in that way. But if you're just posting and people liking it, you have an audience of 10K, but what else happens after that? Nothing.
An advice to somebody who wants to join? I know it's tricky to join LinkedIn. You have to submit the national ID or the passport or the what. The screen is too high. So what advice do you give somebody?
All of those things we have. All of those things people have. You know, if you're a professional by the ages of 18 and above, you have IDs, you have passports, you have what. But the biggest thing, or the biggest pointer that one should have is what do you want from the platform? See, in everything that we do, actually, it's not about even social media or LinkedIn. Even, I think, in life, if you've not yet answered that question, what do you want? After answering what do you want, you answer the who am I, and the other questions that follow. Because especially for us in Uganda and in Africa, we are still looking at LinkedIn as only a platform for looking for jobs, which is wrong, and I wish we can change that mentality.
There's one time you posted and said, your LinkedIn is not about your workplace.
Yes,
it's about you.
That is so strong. Your LinkedIn profile is not for your employer. See, my employer has a website. My employer has social media platforms. My employer is building his employer brand without me. And even if I wake up and leave the organization, my employer has his brand and his name. But what is my brand? What will people know about me? What do I want them to remember about me?
If you leave that to your organization, you're gone.
So that is why I keep encouraging people. Yes, you have a job. It doesn't hurt if sometimes you tweak in and post something about, maybe share about a company update, but always strike a balance of 90-10. 90% of your LinkedIn content should be you. What are your experiences? What are your challenges? What do you want to share? Let people be able to reference to you as Emma, the PRO of this, but oh my God, that guy shares A, B, C, D, and E. I love what he keeps, what he does. No, it's Emma the PR, oh my God, yeah, you know, their company, you see, they'll say their company is doing that, but they will not reference to you as you are. Yeah.
Okay, now this is away from anything else we have been talking about. It's fun. Your regrets. What do you regret in your life?
I want to be honest.
Or you want to be like me who say, I never regret?
I want to be honest with you. Recently, my recent job interview with my current boss, he asked me that question. He told me, what do you regret? And I told him, I never regret anything, because I'm a firm believer in fate. I believe that things happen for a reason. If I was meant to do something and I don't do it, because there's a reason why I just didn't do it. And I have seen things work out in that way. Like, I have seen if I missed a job, or maybe I edited the CV wrongly and I didn't get that interview. But in that same week, or maybe when the interview was going to happen, I got a speaking engagement. So I never regret anything. And I've seen that it's a very good mentality to have, because then you keep being positive, which is just so nice.
If we are talking about childhood, forget about
adulthood.
The name. Ateenyi name coming up. What is your childhood memory that you say, oh my goodness, this one was crazy?
Childhood memory. There are very many. There are very many. I can just say I was a very, very stubborn girl, especially in primary.
Nobody is stubborn, is active.
I was wild. I was crazy. In primary, I was crazy. I was really, really crazy. I was in a single school, girls only. So we were the girls that were doing all the things that boys had to do in school, like bully teachers, bully students, dodge class, things that boys are meant to do. So we were the ones doing them. I remember one time we had an English teacher we were studying, I think, grammar, comprehension, and something else. So he used to map out days, and he says, Monday you carry grammar books, Tuesday you carry comprehension, like that. So this day I was really, really sure we are meant to carry comprehension books. I carried the comprehension book. The teacher came and he's checking. So, let me check the last work I gave you, and he's asking for grammar books. So he comes to my desk, asks me, where is your book? I said, sir, you said on Wednesday we carry comprehension books. He said, you think I'm stupid? I told him, master, you have cerebral malaria.
Oh God.
To the staff room. Chiboko happened. They called my dad. She said the teacher has cerebral malaria. But so it was wild. That was one of the wild. And even up to now, I feel that I keep wondering, why did these other students carry these books? Because on that day we were meant to carry comprehension books. So they were wiseacres. They wiseacred and carried all the 3 books for English. And then I became the bad person. So that was wild. Okay.
Thank you, Victoria Nyanzi, the expert. Thank you for being part of this.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for, I don't know, I'm really impressed. I need to change my profile, LinkedIn, everything, and so on. So, until further notes, see you in the next episode in Nairobi. Thank you, Kampala. It has been a sunny day today. See you. Catch you up, Nairobi. Thank you to our sponsors, Kaplas, Pago, High People Foundation, Mulembe Fashion Hub. Thank you.